exception of, you're going to have some places in the necks and on the tips of berries. If you know your berries, where they're laying on the ground, they don't get, for fresh berries, I don't know about California berries, but where they're laying on the ground, you're going to have some yellows. Most of they are solid, but on the necks, and so I chose this area in here just to flat leave. You know, we'll do him first. I'm going to come up here. Okay. When you want to bridge an area and you don't want a hard line, I'll call it bridge for lack of something else, and you don't want a hard line, paint up to it, and then with clean water, go right around the edge, and it'll just bleed into it, and you'll leave that white. That's going to be that white neck. And up here, I've chosen to have this an orange. I mean, let's see, I'll get in there. And you don't have to be careful with this. Just put it down. Just cover it up. That's the reason we mask, and that's going to be that white seed right up in there. But we're going to do this to all of the berries. And in that little handout I did, yeah, and you can do them as light or as dark. I even put them under here. Don't get into that blue up in here, but I do. The reason I'm putting it on all of them is that I don't want the red looking different in one particular berry, because if they're all having that undercoat of gamboge, then they're all going to have the possibility of glowing.
So it's the plain gamboge.
Well, that's just what I use.
Yeah.
New gamboge. See this line right here? This is an illusion in that facet. So this is a hard line right here. So we just paint it. With all this, though, if you don't like what you're seeing, you can lift this orange out.
Is there a reason you picked new gamboge? Is it granulating, or is it just a color that sings to you, talks to you?
I like it. I don't like Daniel Smith. I don't like Winsor Newton. I like it.
What do you call orange, though?
When I put red with that.
Did you do it on this one?
No, look. See this right in here?
Yeah.
This is turning orange.
Did you do some orange in here already?
So,
no, I just put more gamboge.
So in essence, you're underpainting the
berries.
berries. You're tinting the paper, so when you go in with your red and you smooth the line, that yellow will pop through.
It'll go right through, and you won't have a line. Yellow will move a paint. Now, I think it was Peg that said she could successfully put yellow on top of red. I can't do it. It turns to mud.
I do it either way. I put the yellow down, put the glow, or if I do paint red and it comes out looking too dull, then I come through with the very light wash of Winsor yellow, and it'll brighten it up and liven it.
But it has to be dry first?
And
everything has to be dry
yes,
first?
Yes, everything has to be dry.
Yeah.
Where am I here? There's one right here. See, I don't have a whole lot on this, but I go ahead and paint the whole thing.
So you're, in essence,
I'm just filling in the blank.
Tinting the paper for where the berries are, except for that one white area.
Right, and you can see all of this is green. These are just shapes. You know that's a leaf. It doesn't have to say, I am a leaf. You know that's a leaf. I like to leave whites because I'm leaving whites in my crystal. Leaving white is what says this is a piece of crystal. And so if I'm going to leave whites in the crystal, I do need to leave some whites in my leaves. But I'm just filling in the blanks.
And you've used the mask because you don't want to go through the pain and suffering of painting around
I want the berries. And I want them dimensional. If you look here, there's some red in that one, red in that one. There's different colors in the bottom. And I went back when it was over, and I, for my palette mud, I did this tap, 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 and I wiped this around. I mop a good bit. Let's see, where does that go? That's up there. And you don't have to be careful with this because this is reflective. You're going to, it's glass, and you want all these colors. But we have to paint what's inside and behind the glass before we can paint the glass. And that's why we start where we start, and that's why I need this completed with some shapes. Nobody's going to know what that shape is. And I'll come and draw it if y'all don't want to. These little shapes right here, but that's rounding this bowl. That's pushing this bowl back. But anyway, let's see. Let's go ahead and get this done so y'all can do. I'm just filling in the berries. All of them.
And that one is the only one.
That's
you
where I
left
wanted
the
to,
spot, the highlight.
that's going to be, yeah, that's going to be there and coming around. But I do have to watch where I'm painting. If I had a reference picture, I'd be doing like Bob did yesterday. So I'm going to paint off this because I don't have a reference picture. But let's see, I've got some red over here somewhere. And I've got some red. Because I see this red's going to streak up here, but that's because the rose bow is going around. And this is red down here. I'm going to leave that white. I'm going to leave that big thing white right there. It's not white, but I'm going to leave it white. You can kill whites anytime, but you can't get them back freshly. So just leave them out if you don't want to paint them. Anyway, this right here. And there's no tap on this. I'm just filling in the blanks here. And quickly.
I think I can handle that.
You can do this. I told y'all this was going to be fill in the blanks. That's what we're doing.
Thank you.
So we do yellow, go back.
Paint by number.
You didn't know I gave you my drawing, did you?